Hello everyone, myself Ketan Bhavsa, Assistant Professor in LG Engineering College, Ahmedabad. In today's topic, we discuss about device driver programming from chapter number 3, device driver and interrupt service mechanism from embedded system. So now we are very familiar with this word device driver. Now what is device driver? The first question arises in our mind, what is device driver? Device driver means what? If you design any hardware, if you design any type of the project, any type of the controller, any type of the FPGA or any embedded devices, now how your system will recognize that hardware property? How your system will call, or we can directly program that on particular chip with help of the computer. And for that we have to go with the device driver programming. Device driver programming is play a main role whenever you want to communicate with a microcontroller, whenever you want to communicate with any type of the embedded devices. Suppose if you have one computer or laptop, and if you have one device or any type of microcontroller, you don't know, but you have to program, like if you have to just turn on LED on off on 1 second delay, then how is it possible? And for that we have to connect that board to our computer, we have to program it, and you have to upload that program inside the controller or any embedded devices, and then it will be turned on and turned off. So basically device driver programming is play a main role whenever you want to communicate with embedded devices. It gives identification of hardware to the software, and software recognize the hardware property. It's called as a device driver programming. Now we go ahead and we discuss that particular portion. A device driver has a set of routine used by a higher level language program which does the interactions with a device hardware, sends the control command to the device and communicate data to the device and run the code for reading the device data. So basically it's used to read the property of the particular hardware of the particular embedded devices. Device driver routine or routing. Each device in the system needs to device driver routine which number of devices functions. And ISR relates to a device driver command means device function. The device driver uses SWI means specifically SWI means a single instruction set, or we also see this type of the protocol in previous session. One single wire instruction set. Okay, it's called as a routine. So device driver also responds the device hardware interrupts. Now, device driver generic commands. A programmer uses generic commands for device for using a device. Means a program uses a generic command for device driver for using a device. Means it sends the different types of generic code that how you can use that particular device. Each command related with the ISR with interrupt service routine mechanism, and the device driver command use the SWI instruction set. In terms of the SWI means a single wire instruction set with help of the ISR function. Generic function. What is generic function? The first question arises in our mind because in previous slide you also see the generic codes, means the software sends different types of generic code to the embedded devices. Now generic function used for the command to the device are device create, open, connect, bind, read, logic, write, read, and different types of IO modes. Here we are considering only few modes, but you have a different number of IO modes: open, close, delete. So there are the different types of function, and with help of this generic function, we directly call the hardware property. Now device driver code. What is device driver code? The difference in the different operating system. Definitely, it is a very according to the operating system. Some devices may have a different code for the driver when the system is using the different operating system. So basically, if you're talking about the microcontroller, if you're talking about the microprocessor, then we have to follow this strategy. We have to go with this type of the mode. Same devices may have a different code for the driver when the system is using the different operating system. So basically, it varies according to the system by system. Device driver does the interrupt service for any event related to the device and use the system and IO buses required for the device services. So basically we have to follow the different types of device services in terms of the IO and the system. So device driver can be considering the software layer between an application program and the devices. So we have to follow the different types of application program and the devices when you're talking about a device driver mechanism. Interrupt service routine, it's ISR, it's one of the most popular type of the interrupt service mechanism route that we already heard in different number of chapters in embedded system and also in microcontroller, right? So an interrupt service routine access a device for a service, configure, initialization, activating, operating, attaching, reading, writing, resetting, deactivating and closing. So we have to follow the different types of interrupt service routine mechanism. And interrupt service routines thus implement the device functions of the device driver. So basically we have to follow the different types of device mechanism. We have to go with the different types of device characteristic and its different types of mechanism. And for that we have to go with the different types of ISR mode. ISR 1, ISR 2 and also we have to follow the different types of command. So you can see on the center position you can see the device driver. Command 1 run short code signal ISR 1. Device 2 means command 2 run short code ISR 2. So basically the interrupt service mechanism means what? We have to follow the two types of ISR code for device 1 and device 2, or we can say that device function 1 and device function 2. And here we have to set the different types of command, and that a generic command will follow a specific device driver property, and based on that we have to access a specific type of instruction to your function. So basically device driver is work as a bridge. It will provide the connectivity from the software portion to the hardware portions, right? You have some specific types of the command. That command is generally controlled by the device driver and it sends back signal to the ISR. Example, the application program commands to write on the display screen of a mobile and control name from the contact database. It sends the SWI to call the LCD display device driver. So the driver runs short code and execute another SWI to call the ISR related to write the function on the LCD. So basically here we are considering the very simple and one of the most popular example that we are using in each and every day, or we can say that we use in daily routine life, that if you have to search any number in your smartphone, then how it will work, how it will send that signal to the microcontroller and it will be display on your LCD screen. So basically in that situation we have to go with a LCD mode. We have to switch or write down a specific name, and based on the instruction and based on the database availability, it will search the data fastly based on the processor, and as per the match the number of names, it will be displayed on your screen. So here we are considering very few examples with help of the SWI and LCD interfacing, but we have a number of examples which is related to the ISR, which is related to a direct memory access controller, which is related with a device driver. See, device driver is one of the most popular type of the software programming skill, we can say that. And in Ahmedabad, we can say that in all over the India, very few people are working in the device driver programming. Because see, it is not an easy task to communicate with the software and hardware. If you don't know the property of hardware, if you don't know the software, then how they both the software will recognize each other and start communicating. So it is possible with help of the device driver programming only. So I hope that you are getting the idea of what exactly I am trying to convey. Still, if you have any doubt which is related to the device driver property, then you can feel free to contact me. So I hope that you are getting the idea. Still, if you have any doubt, then you can tell me. So thank you for watching.